The views and opinions expressed by the On the Spot with David Rodgers show are solely based on the show's hosts, guests, and viewers, and we are solely responsible for all show content in its entirety and does not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of our sponsors in any way. These broadcasts are presented and made public by the On the Spot with David Rodgers show in the hope that it will be entertaining and informative to our viewers and listening audience.
Good Tuesday evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to On the Spot with David Rodgers, brought to you tonight by our newest sponsor, On My Way, the app that saves lives and the only texting and driving solution that pays. This is your show, coming to you on Facebook and YouTube every Tuesday and Saturday night. You control and run this show. We are just a rudder that steers this big old vessel. We bring it to you first for education, discussion, and debate of local news, politics, and sports, as well as the latest on the COVID-19 situation and the latest around this great country. We have you covered from Middleburg to Melrose to McIntosh, from Lake City to Lake Butler and Lake Como, from Waldo to Williston, from Lottie to Lulu, and all points in between, including Gainesville, Palatka, Ocala, and, of course, right here in beautiful Start, Florida. Now, here's your on-the-spot team making it happen every single week. First, putting it all together behind the scenes, our executive producer, Super Dave Holland. Say hello, David.
Hello, everybody.
And along with our director, Michael, the Dragon Slayer Heater. Say hello, Michael.
Welcome aboard, folks.
Rounding out the team is Austin Storm Chaser Stevens and John Better Than Snopes Probst, and our great media partners, WEAG Eagle Country 106.3 FM, Mary and Chuck Kramer, or Chuck and Mary Kramer, and Liv Bellis, and the Bradford County Telegraph and their great staff. Up first is our local voice on current events, Mitchell Gunner, and the historian and American patriot, Byron Bagwell. Say hello, gentlemen.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good evening, infidels.
Oh, God. I'm your host, David Rodgers, the voice of the Bradford High Tornadoes, and the Show Pony. Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. We are coming to you live from the On the Spot studios right here along historic Call Street in beautiful downtown Start, Florida. Only 1,185 miles from Last Chance, Iowa. Last chance for you, Mr. Bagwell. How about that?
That's fine.
Last chance from Last Chance, Iowa. So let's get started, as we always do, with our prayer, our pledge, and our patriotic wisdom. I'm going to do a little something different tonight. I'm going to ask Mr. Michael Heater if he'll lead us in prayer tonight.
Our gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for the opportunity to gather together as a team once again with the brothers and the patriots among us. We thank you for our viewers. We thank you for our government. And we thank you for the greatest country in the world, the United States of America. We appreciate the opportunity to gather together and be able to speak our minds freely, to be able to express opposing views with one another and still come together as one great nation. We thank you for the opportunity to share these information with our people out in the field and to be able to talk amongst ourselves, rather, as we gather together, even if we have opposing points of view. We thank you for the chance that we have to live in the greatest country in the world, and we thank you for the greatest military force on this planet, the United States of America and the United States Armed Forces. We thank you for the opportunity to once again be able to preach and speak to everyone and to thank you for everything that's afforded to us. We thank you for those that protect us, from our first responders and our military, all the way to our farmers and our truck drivers, the ones that keep this country moving and trucking forward. We thank you for the food that we have each and every day that goes to our nourishment of our bodies and our bodies to die service. We thank you for your blessings and your protecting hand over every one of us, our families, our friends, and our great nation. We thank you and we ask for your help as we move forward in these troubling times. We ask for your faith and support over our great leaders, and we ask for all these things in your Son's name. And the congregation says,
Amen. Amen. All right, great job. Excellent. I'm going to ask Mr. Mitchell Gunner if he'd lead us in our pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amen. Amen. All right, Mr. Bagwell, you're up with our patriotic wisdom and quote of the night. Yep. So what do you have for us? I know you've got something good, but I'm going to start with one right here. Always stand on principle, even if you stand alone. Who says that?
Quote.
Yep.
Who says that? Somebody answer that.
Michael, Mitchell, any guess? It was a president back in the day after George Washington.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that was that Thomas Jefferson?
Nope.
Or was that
Close.
John
Oh!
Adams?
Hey, John Adams.
Well, I knew the
Always stand on principle, even if you stand alone.
Even if you stand alone.
John Adams. All right, Mr. Bagwell, what do you have for us?
Well, I hate to repeat myself.
Do you really?
Well,
while
the news
you
that I heard today,
I
think I need to repeat myself.
Okay.
And that would be the quote that I used the last time the show was on.
Really?
Why am I not finding it?
Ruth Ginsburg?
No. We, the people, are the rightful masters of both the Congress and the courts, not to overthrow the Constitution, but to overthrow men. And I'm going to include something else in our great president's quote, and women who would pervert the Constitution.
Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States of America.
That is correct, and there's a reason that I added the "and women" into it, because there was a bombshell released by a senator today.
Good, and you'll get into that here in just a few minutes. Let's move on. Before we delve into today's latest, we want to recognize our great sponsors tonight and every night. This is our sponsor spotlight. Fun Point Food and Arcade, Southern Gym Photography, Miracle Automotive and Recovery, and Dependable Waste Services.
Designed by pros, on-the-spot lawn maintenance, Schuster and Sabin law offices, and the Downtown Grill.
Williams Jewelry on Call Street, Brittany Leanne Creations, Harry Business of Start, Boogie Night DJ Service, and of course, our newest sponsor, On My Way.
Hey, download the free app onto any smartphone. If someone sends you a message, they receive an automatic reply letting them know that you're driving. Once you arrive at your destination, you can simply check your message and text back. On My Way automatically activates when driving over 10 miles per hour and disables text and app alerts. On My Way is the free and easy way to get paid to drive without texting or using your phone. All right. Great sponsor. On My Way. Michael, great job. And John, for getting us that great sponsor. And now here's our all-new news segment. We call it the 360. We take you around the community and around the country in just 6 minutes. It's 360 degrees in 360 seconds. Tonight, brought to you by Fun Point Food and Arcade and Start. Check out the all-new menu on Facebook or www.funpointstart.com. Here we go. The Lake City Police Department is investigating a shooting that left 2 people injured yesterday afternoon. The shooting occurred at Wayne Manor Apartments just behind the Buddy's Home Furnishing store. According to Lake City Police Department, upon arrival to the furniture store, they saw a black male with a gunshot wound. He was quickly transported to a hospital where officers were able to obtain his name and that he was shot at the apartment complex. When the officers arrived at the apartments, they located a second gunshot victim with serious injuries. He was also transported to a local hospital. The incident appears isolated between the 2 men, and the investigation is still continuing. Several Marion County deputies responded to the area of I-75 in reference to a reckless driver running vehicles off the roadway several days ago. Deputies were able to locate the vehicle near West Highway 40 and Southwest 60th Avenue. After observing signs of impaired driving, a traffic stop was conducted, and after field sobriety exercises were completed, it was determined that the driver was under the influence. The male driver was placed under arrest and transported to the Marion County Jail, where a breath sample revealed he was listen, ladies and gentlemen, this is no typo, 3.5 times over the legal limit to drive. Is that even possible, Michael?
Not only could he not drive, he could not walk.
It's possible.
It's like 3.5.
It's possible.
All right. A pedestrian was killed in Gainesville after a car jumped the curb and drove onto a sidewalk in an apartment complex. State troopers said around 7 a.m. yesterday morning, a 58-year-old woman turned into the Harbor Cove Apartments office building in southwest Gainesville. For unknown reasons, she drove onto the sidewalk, hitting a 77-year-old woman. Wow. Inside the car were 3 children between the ages of 6 and 10, but they were not injured. The adult driver was treated for minor injuries, while the pedestrian died at the hospital. A Bradford County man was arrested this week after he broke into a home, stole 2 slices of pizza. That ain't a typo either, ladies and gentlemen. And then texted the homeowner admitting he did it. The burglary occurred in the Riverbend Estates community near Broker. Deputies arrested the man after the property owner filed charges and showed deputies the text messages. That's just unreal. 2 slices of pizza. If he'd have come to me, I'd have just bought him 2 slices of pizza.
Yeah, he wouldn't be sitting.
No, he wouldn't. Marion County deputies arrested a man wearing nothing but his underwear in connection to a burglary in Ocala. And no, ladies and gentlemen, it was not Mitchell Gunner.
That's right. Was not me.
Was it Joe Biden?
No, close. According to the arrest report, the homeowner said 39-year-old Robert Hoskins admitted to breaking into the man's home. He stole clothes, among other things. Wow. When deputies arrived on the scene, Hoskins became aggressive and told deputies, "I condemn you." He then threw a bottle at a deputy, hitting him in the face. Deputies used a taser on Hoskins and took him into custody. He was charged with battery on an officer. How about this? Burglary, theft, property damage, and, of course, resisting arrest. He was released from jail yesterday afternoon after posting a $13,000 bond.
Assaulted with a holy word.
Good grief. Sugar Camp Ranch in Fort White has announced the 3rd annual Fall Harvest Festival each Saturday during the month of October from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. for fun for your entire family. Admission, here we go. From ages 2 to 64, $10. $7 for seniors 65 and over, and $7 for first responders and military with ID. Free parking is available. Pumpkins available for purchase while supplies last. So go out and have a good time.
Yeah.
Here now is your weather update, sponsored by Austin's Weather Service out of Keystone Heights. Find AWS on Facebook for the latest information.
It's going to rain.
And I'm going to turn it over to our director. He is none other than the backup for Austin Stevens, as he told me to say it, the Dragon Slayer, Michael Heater. Welcome in, Mike.
Hey, thanks, David. Temperatures climbed into the upper 80s this afternoon, but an approaching cold front brought us scattered showers and storms this afternoon along the area. That will start to fade after dark. If you've been outside, especially in the north end of the county, you have seen some pretty heavy weather. For the rest of tonight, look for mostly cloudy skies, a chance of showers, and a slight chance of showers after midnight. Lows topping out in the lower 70s. Winds out of the south at about 5 miles per hour this evening, becoming light. The chance of rain is reducing now to about 50% after higher chances of rain in Lodi earlier today. Tomorrow's looking much cooler under sunny skies. Austin says we will wake up with temperatures around 60 degrees,
Nice.
with highs in the upper 70s approaching 80 and a northwesterly wind at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Fall is making its appearance.
Right.
Yes.
The tropics are quiet, and we like it that way, with nothing expected over the next few days. And on the wildfire front, one large new fire broke out in Utah, and one was contained in Montana. The number of fires is well above the 10-year average as the number of acres burned. Hot, dry, and increasingly unstable conditions are expected for California and the desert Southwest, along with the Great Basin. Winds in Northern California are not likely to be critical, although very low humidities are predicted. Unfortunately, little to no rain is forecast west of the Mississippi River, and it may be weeks before the western states see any relief at all. Back to you, David.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, before we go on any further, we want to send prayers out to our brothers and sisters out there on the West Coast there in California, Oregon, Washington State, where all these fires are going, as Michael Heater has alluded to the last couple of weeks. So we want to send prayers to you guys. Also sending prayers for the cleanup efforts for the hurricanes that we've had on the Gulf Coast as well. If there's anything that you need from us, you can contact us on the spot, 32091@gmail.com. Thank you once again, Michael. This weather report brought to you by Austin's Weather Service out of Keystone Heights. Find AWS on Facebook and get a local forecast sent right to you. And our newest segment that brings back a little history. This is our on-the-spot version of What's the Date? These are the Bradford County Telegraph headlines from the first week of October of what year? Grand opening of new armory scheduled October 27th. Bradford County gets $5,020 of old railroad tax money. School cafeterias begin serving hot meals for 5 cents. And here's a bonus headline on the front page. $36 received for Crosby Lake Cemetery Fund. Was it, ladies and gentlemen, and y'all play at home, October 1937, October 1939, or October of 1941? Let me go over those again. Grand opening of new armory scheduled October 27th. Bradford County gets $5,020 of old railroad tax money. School cafeterias begin serving hot meals for just 5 cents. 1 nickel, Mitchell. And a bonus front page headline, look at this. $36 received for Crosby Lake Cemetery Fund. Was it October 1937, October 1939, or October of 1941? Michael, give us a little taste of what we're looking at here.
Absolutely. The grand opening of the new armory was announced for October 27th and would follow actually prior to the BHS football game scheduled for that Friday night. Military personnel were on site to show off brand new radio and telephone equipment. Bradford County received $5,020 for delinquent Seaboard Coastline Railroad taxes owed to the county. That money was added to the general fund. The high schools in Hampton, Stark, Brooker, and Lawdy, yes, the high schools in those 4 communities, began serving hot meals for 5 cents. And Ruby Sullivan, yes, from the Sullivan family of Theresa, as the program manager, transferred staff from the sewing room projects at the schools to assist in the preparation and serving. And finally, the Crosby Lake Cemetery Fund ended up collecting over $268 that went towards the beautification of grounds and the sanctuary at Crosby Lake.
Wow, absolutely outstanding. So, did that happen in 1937, 1939, and 1941? Before we move on, I'll go to our panel. Byron Bagwell, give me a guess.
39.
39. Michael Heater. Pass. All right. Dave Holland.
I'm gonna go way back. 37.
You go 37. All right. Mitchell.
Give me 37.
Give you 37. All right. Give me 39 with Byron. And again, ladies and gentlemen, you can play at home as well. This is the newest segment we got. We really have a lot of fun with this. And Michael, tell people how they can go back and look at some of these headlines as well.
Absolutely. We do our research. I'd like to think that I'm old enough to remember some of this. But realistically, you can find out a lot of history yourself by Googling, searching the University of Florida Digital Library for newspapers. Newspapers from all over the state of Florida have been digitally saved and chronicled going back into the 19th century. Everything from the Florida Times-Union to the Miami Herald. You can find that information, look up a particular date, and read what was happening in that community at that time.
You know, that's a great thing. And I tell you what, before we get to everybody, and everybody's got a watch party, of course, and we encourage you to do a watch party. Hey, if you're listening to us right now, send it and you do a watch party. We want as many people to listen in to On the Spot with David Rodgers, the best show, the best rated show in the Southeast. And I can tell you, I can prove it. You're probably going, really, David? Yep, I can prove it. David, we talked about this before. Yep. The #1 rated show in the Southeast, and I'll tell you that a little bit later. David, who do you have on the watch party?
Oh, man, I got several people, but Sharon has put in a couple comments.
Okay.
#1, she's got 1937.
All right, 1937 for Sharon. We'll give her that.
She thought it was a strange time to start the show.
And I'll get into that while we're right here. The reason we started the show, ladies and gentlemen, 30 minutes prior to its regular start time at 7 is because we have the first of 3 debates tonight, and we all are interested in, of course, the debate and what both candidates are going to say. So we started the show 30 minutes earlier so we can make sure we got the show in, #1, first and foremost. And number two, so we can get done at a decent hour so we can go home and watch this debate as well. Because this is something, gentlemen, I know you won't be here, Mitchell, because you're going to be doing the thing.
Right.
And we'll talk about that in a minute. But it's going to be a topic that me, you, and Michael Heater and Dave Holland will be discussing on Saturday.
I almost promise you.
We can promise you that that's going to take up the show. So, Sharon, that's why we're starting 30 minutes early from the regular time.
And she's got a third comment. She says, looks like David locked you down in my chair.
Yes, he did. He locked me down for about 42 seconds. I won't tell you the secret.
Don't give our secret
Can't give the secret. But he locked me down for about 42 seconds. What else you got, Dave?
We got to be careful with that one.
Yes, sir.
That's good.
All right. How about you, Mitchell?
All right, I've got a bunch of people
Do
on
you
here.
really?
I've got Teresa Roden. I got Walter West. I got Eddie Sigmund. I've got Thomas Gaines, Jerry Melton, George and Lisa Eberhardt. I got Mr. Ronnie Harris, Joe Starlin, Earl Hansen, Mark Horton, and the list just keeps on going and going.
Do you have any guesses there? Was anybody any guesses there?
I have
Mitchell?
no good guesses. Also, Greg Moss, George Ricks, Mike Tierney, Rob Bradley, Lynn Moss, and
the list just keeps growing. Watch parties, keep it happening. Michael, who do you have?
Hey, real quick, Deborah Bennett, former from Interlochen High School,
All
classmate
right.
of mine from years ago.
Hello, Deborah.
Laura Harris is joining us. Shane Haddock, Noah Tensler, Marie Emery Thornton. Yes, one of the fabulous dispatchers of the Bradford County Sheriff's Office is on board with us. Doug McClure has joined us. Diane Morgan Harrison, Shade Hilton from Keystone, Ray McDaniel, Jason Craig, Jack Gerald from over in Palatka.
All right.
Janelle Harris, retiree from Bradford County SO. Kelly Outlaw from Jackson Building Supply and Stark Fire Department is on board.
Welcome, Kelly.
Yancey Dull, retired Gainesville firefighter, has joined us. And our good buddy, Mr. Fun Point himself,
Harry Patel.
Harry Patel is joining us, along with Ty Jordan, Scott Jones. A shout out to Lisa Terry, Elizabeth, and John Ryan Tillman have joined us. Beverly Heater, Nancy Harden, Chris Doherty, and Dylan Thornton, among others, have joined us. And again, the list keeps growing.
All right. Any guesses from that list?
No list on this. No guesses on this list
All right.
so far.
Oh, and also, before I get in trouble, my mother's on here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All right, Mr. Bagwell, I know you got a lot of people and some guesses.
Well, Mr. Charles McKinney Jr. is on.
All right, Charles.
Jimmy Langley,
Jimmy.
Ashley Reberg,
All right.
and Jennifer Dodge, Weller, and Carlton Jones, who guessed 1941.
1941. That's the first one on there, Byron.
Jennifer also guessed that.
All right, 1941.
Ty Jordan is watching.
Uh-huh.
Charles McKinney guessed 41.
41.
Dwight, my brother Dwight Allen said, "Good evening, fellow Patriots."
My brother Dwight, too. Liver and onions time coming up.
Yep, Sarge is on.
Sarge, what's up, brother?
He guessed 41 too.
Okay.
Roy Jackson is on. Good evening, Roy, and he guessed 37.
Okay.
Miss Melba Johnson, who also is my aunt,
That's
by the
right.
way, is
That's
on.
right.
Cherie Smith is on.
Huh?
Dwight Allen guessed 41.
All right.
Judith Young Sal is on, and
Uh-huh.
she guessed 41 also.
All right.
Kevin Kedgley is on,
Kevin, what's up?
and Joey Fennell is on, and
Yep.
he guessed 37.
He guessed 37. All right.
Jason Smith is on, and Cherie Smith guessed 37 also.
All right, 37. All right. Great job. I got Miss Weller on as well. I got Raymond No from the Bradford Food Pantry. Randy Brooks is on. Gail Allen's on. Robin Kelly's on. Stephanie Loper's on. Charles McKinney's on again. Byron Bagwell is on. Really? Raymond No is on. He says, good evening to you. Jason Vott, Sarge, what's going on with you? Charles McKinney says, come on, man. Wesley Mann is on. Joseph Sayers is on. Joe Starter, I ain't giving it away, Charles. Amen. He says, y'all got to check out what I tagged in on Facebook. So we got to tag in what Sarge said. I don't know what he put on Facebook. We'll check it out.
I wonder if he's referring to Corn Pop.
Oh, maybe. Who's ready for the debate tonight? We all are. And that's why the show is starting 30 minutes early. That's why the model Sharon asked us what the heck was going on. And that's exactly right. Megan Parmenter is on.
Good evening.
Hey, Southern Jim Photo Booth. Megan, I hope you're doing and feeling a lot better. I know she's been going through some things, Megan.
She also needs some congratulations.
Yes, she does. Yeah, some congratulations on an engagement. That's true. Diane Tomlinson's on. Jimmy Langley tuned in from the Bahamas. Let the night's fun begin. You got that right, brother. I hope it's all going good in the Bahamas. I wish we were there.
Want to let everybody know.
I can't hunt deer from
We were a little frozen there for a few minutes, so now
we're back. Bart is on from Louisiana. What's up, Bart? Jared Dukes, Ashley Rayburn, Roy Jackson. Hey, guys, y'all ready for the debate? Yep, Trump 2020, we are. Jennifer says, just saying, a few months ago, I had someone break into my house and leave a pizza on the floor. Good grief. Bring on them cold temperatures. Hurry up, winter, all 3 days of it. Carlton Jones says 41.
Yep.
Okay, we already got it.
We already got
Jennifer said 41. McKinney said 41. Hey, good evening, brother. We got to do some liver and onions, Mr. Dwight Allen. Sarge said 41.
We got him too.
Yep. Roy Jackson, 37.
Him too.
Allen said 41.
Alan.
Dwight?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Judith Young says 41. Yep. And Jason Smith is on, like I said. Fennell says 37. We got him. Greetings, gentlemen. Glad to see some things are getting back to normal. Hope all is well. It is. And things are getting back to normal. Joe tested positive for the Rona. Krylon or Rust-Oleum?
Or was it my Corona?
Yeah. Sheree, did you get hurt for 37?
Yes.
Okay.
I got Ed Conklin for 39.
You got Ed Conklin for 39. What's up, Ed? Priscilla Lowe is on. Megan Parmenter says hello. Let me know when you guys would like me on the show again. I got a lot going on in the film industry recently. Of course we'll have you on. Just get a hold of one of us, and we'll get that scheduled up. Dave Holland Jr.'s on. I'm telling you, if you watch the video I posted, I mean, it really doesn't get any plainer. Sleepy Joe is a puppet. All right. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. Let me go over this again, and then we'll get some answers. We got several answers in. Welcome in to an early start on the Spot with David Rodgers. I am your host, the voice of the Bradford Tornadoes, the play-by-play man. Right along with Big Kevin Howe, we bring you Tornado football each and every Friday night. We'll discuss that loss that we took Friday night, and we'll get into that in just a few minutes. Byron Bagwell to my left. You've already heard Mr. Michael Heater, our director back here, Mr. Dave Holland.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Mitchell Gunner, we are your On the Spot team. Boys, I'm telling you what right now, headache or not, I'm fired up. How about you guys? Y'all can tell it, can't you?
Yes, I can.
I'm ready.
I'm trying to figure out why you're fired up. We all may be asleep about halfway.
Well, I tell you.
That headache went away.
It's still there just a little bit. I was telling Dave, it's still there just a little bit. You know why I'm fired up? Because we've had a great intro. We've got a great group of people around us, and we're ready for a debate tonight that I just can't wait to see. Michael, how about you? You ready for this debate tonight?
I am stoked and excited. We'll get this wrapped up, knock out a little Taco Tuesday action,
yes,
and then zoom in and watch this show. That's
exactly right. All right, here we go. Grand opening of new armory scheduled October 27th. Bradford County gets $5,020 of all railroad taxes. School cafeterias begun serving hot meals for 5 cents. Hey, Dave, I'm telling you right now, back then, my dad used to send me with a nickel, and I could eat lunch. Hey, back then. Bonus front page headline. $36 received for Crosby Lake Cemetery Fund. Was it October 1937, October 1939, October 1941? And before you go, Michael, we have 6 guesses for 37, 3 guesses for 39, 6 guesses for 1941. Drum roll, please. Michael Heater, tell us, who is correct tonight?
It was the folks that were able to figure out, the key there was the new armory that had its grand opening on Friday night, October 27, 1939.
Dave, did you guess 1939?
No, I went 37.
Only 3 of us.
We're all 2 of us wrong.
Do you know why I knew that? Because of the nickel I used to buy my lunches with.
No.
Well, that's why I went with 37 because of the nickel.
Oh, because yours was 3 cents at the time.
See, that was not quite fair. I know a little bit
Mine
about
Mine was a brown paper bag from
Well,
home.
I was 0-2 the last couple of times, so I needed to get back on the winning streak here.
Yeah, there you
And
go.
Who was the other two?
That was
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, me and Byron.
Yeah,
Byron's. You guessed it right the last time too, didn't you? Byron's on 2-0 or 3-0, I think. Right
Wow.
now. Anyway, let's go ahead and get rolling. Welcome into an early edition of On the Spot with David Rodgers. Again, Byron Bagwell, Michael Eater, Dave Holland, Mitchell Gunner, and myself. Let's get it rolling, Mitchell. What do you have on the local front for
Well,
us?
I'm actually going to let you hit the first thing. That's
Okay.
a great topic that's going to be happening this Saturday.
Do you want me to go ahead and hit that right
Go ahead
now?
and hit that.
All right, here we go. Jennifer Dodge Weller is on, along with a bunch of other people, probably over 100. Here we go. Bring it, Bradford County. Patriot Ride 2020. This Saturday, October 3rd. Hey, 7:30 a.m. to 2 p.m., Dave. Trump gear and yard signs. Sign and flag waving from 8 to 10. Where? Slice and Dice Barbecue. Food is available there. He's opening back up Thursday. And I can't wait because I'm telling you what, Saturday is barbecue.
So, you got the rest of the details?
I
about what we're
do.
gonna do? Okay. I just wanted to
Yeah,
make sure.
I wasn't leaving it there. I was just trying to get
Okay,
you rolling.
Yeah.
And the Jeep is already getting prepped.
Bring your trucks, cars, RVs, Jeep, and motorcycles. Get your Trump flags, American flags, and back the blue flags rigged up.
Can I
Because
back
what?
up to the howitzer? We can pull the howitzer along too.
Well, I'm going to tell you what I'm bringing, and then you'll see. Starting point, Slice and Dice parking lot, 7:30 a.m., 1706 Madison Street, which is County Road 225, Lawley, Florida, 32058 if you don't know where that's at. Sign and flag waving, 8 to 10, Mitchell. Where? At the traffic light on Highway 301 in Lawley.
Yeah.
We're going to be all on sides of the road, all that stuff. Hey, ride route starts at 10 a.m. Any vehicle with flags, signs, anything, any memorabilia. You know what she told me, Jennifer said?
What?
Just put something red and blue on it. She don't care. Just put something on there. And she said, we're going to travel through the county, including the bypass. I know it's going through Hampton. I know it's going through Stark a little bit. It's going down 301, bypass. You name it, it's going. For further information, email BradfordForTrump@gmail.com. And I want to thank some people that are involved in this, Mitchell. That is Shara 2, Sheila 2, DeRossi. Right? Did I say that right? DeRossi?
Yes.
Yes.
Close.
Donna, it's close. Donna Souls, and Annie Marie Delgado, Linda Lacombe, and of course, Jennifer Weller herself. Hey, more information right here. Where's that email address? Here it is. BradfordForTrump@gmail.com. Bring it, Bradford County. Patriot Ride 2020. This Saturday, October 3rd, 2020, 7:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're all going to be at Slice and Dice Barbecue, baby. Doing it up. Doop, doop, doop.
Is the producer going to be there?
The producer, I'm not sure if he's going to be there or not, depending on what he's got.
That's on Saturday.
It's on
That's
Saturday.
a Saturday. I know you're busy at the shop, Dave. Yeah, he's probably working.
Well, there's your answer, Jen.
Yeah, well, no. I actually
had a
talked to
little
Jennifer.
plan for that.
I actually talked to Jennifer, and while we're on that, the reason too, I would have loved to have done a show there. We're going to have Michael Heater take some stuff and do a little bit of live stuff so we can put it on the page.
Yes.
However, Miss Stacy Creighton has got a hold of me 3 times. She wants to be on the show Saturday night, debate or not. Oh, okay. Sally, it's pronounced Sally. Judith Young Sally.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, there you go.
Sorry.
No problem. Hey, we'll get it corrected. Hey, that's
Yikes.
what we're yikes. But anyway, she wants to come on the show. She wants to answer any of the questions that our viewers have. Any questions that we come up with, Byron, Michael, Dave. No, Mitchell won't be here. We try to get a debate going, ladies and gentlemen. Just didn't work out. At least at this point, we're going to keep trying. We're going to keep trying with the other candidates too.
That's right.
So stay tuned for that. Miss Stacy Creighton will be on with us on Saturday night.
Okay.
Regular showtime, 7 o'clock. on Saturday. But make sure you go out for this Patriot
And
Night.
it really stinks I won't be here for that, but
Yeah.
I'll be doing my thing over at Gainesville Raceway
Well,
Saturday afternoon.
is there anything that you can do to boost yourself up? And I know you'll talk about that. Hang on a minute.
Yeah, we'll catch into that when I get on to the Gator National
All right,
stuff.
let me add just something to this that Slice and Dice Christopher Davis just added. The ribs and smoked chicken will be ready at 11 a.m. Michael's rubbing his hands together. Yeah, boy. The ribs and chicken will be ready at 11 a.m. Ooh,
Yes, sir.
we're ready.
That means the black sheep of the family will be leading the charge.
There you go. Dave Holland said, boys in the country hood. You got that right. Go ahead.
Not only mentioned that, but
Yeah.
on Tuesday, October the 6th,
Yeah.
from 7 to 9 p.m. at Brooklyn Boys Pizza and Long Island Beach Bar, they will be having a Spirit of America rally. This event will feature several special guest speakers, free Trump signs, as well as shirts and other items for purchase.
Really?
So that's another great thing that's going on in our backyard right over in
Can I stop you right there? I want to ask Michael Heater something really quick because, Michael hooks us up quite a bit. I know Austin Stevens and Donald Stevens said they were trying to get us an in over there for that particular day or that particular night. It is a Tuesday night. I know they got some great pizza. Is there any out of this world? Is there any way that you can see if we can do a show from over there that night? If we can't, that's okay. We'll do our regular show here.
Let's just say it's better than average.
Better than average. All right.
We'll see what we can do to make that happen.
Y'all may have to keep me from eating one of those.
No, we're going to eat a calzone.
Buffalo chicken calzone.
Oh, no, we're going to eat that. Oh, we're going to have that.
So we're going to all try down and make everybody want some food from Brooklyn.
Yes, we're going to show them on TV.
But I tell you, it's going to be a great afternoon over there
Yes,
at
it
Brooklyn
is.
Boys Pizza. I want to talk about an event that happened this past weekend at Fun Point. We had our Fun Point Cruise In of the month. We're going to try to make this a monthly thing for people to showcase their vehicles and plus go eat some really great food there at Fun Point. But this month's winner was Roy Hall in his 1937 model Chevrolet pickup truck.
That's what I voted for. I love that truck. You could eat off the motor. Beautiful. That was
Very
beautiful.
And that's not the only vehicle that he has. He has two others that are just as nice as that one.
Yeah, I love that truck.
Go ahead and get into the Bradford County School District. The Bradford High School is calling for seniors and their families to start planning for their future. You could join the graduation coach, Renee Castles, at the Bradford High School and their leadership for an important session. It is the FAFSA night. This will take place on October the 6th from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the Bradford High School auditorium. Also, I want to remind all parents that schools are asking for you to go ahead and get ready to start putting names on coats, gloves, and anything else that they may wear during winter. That way they can reunite them with their clothes. No, we don't want no child going without a jacket during the winter months, especially if that child loses it. And this will help them find that child and put them back in touch with their winter wear. Also at the Bradford Middle School, band will be holding a pumpkin patch on October. They will begin opening from October the 6th through the 31st.
Okay.
The hours will be Monday through Friday from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m., Saturday 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., Sunday from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. And this will be located at the Bradford County School District office. Also to talk about in Bradford County, I want to let everybody know that the Florida Division of Emergency Management will have a mobile testing site for Bradford and Union counties. The testing for Bradford is Friday, October the 2nd and Saturday, October the 3rd, located at the Bradford Health Department from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Then they will be over at Union County at their health department on Sunday, October the 4th, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. City of Stark, just go ahead and let you know, they are continuing on with the overpass construction project. They're going to have some closures here and there. Just be aware and follow the signs as you come through State Road 100 up to 301 and also the other direction back eastbound.
Right.
So, also want to get into letting everybody know there's been a high number of traffic crashes at US 301 and 227 here in the past couple of months. So everyone please pay attention. I drove through the area. There's no reason why you cannot see those traffic signals. They're a very good sight. I think a lot of it is a lot of people is trying to beat that light, or they're on their phone and not paying attention, and they're T-boning people or running in the back of them.
Mitchell, I wanted to ask a question just really quick on that. It is. Now, are most of the accidents, and maybe Michael can help out as well, is it people trying to run from 227 to get on 301 or 301? Is it a little of both?
It's a little of both, but mostly they're rear-end collisions, my understanding.
Yeah, the majority,
Most of it's happening on
the
301.
majority of the traffic crashes are, and there's the last two that we had a couple days ago was a jackknife semi that then resulted in a second crash from onlookers. But the majority of the crashes are southbound 301 for people that are stopping when they slam on the brakes and the cars behind them aren't watching and rear-end them, and then they chain reaction into the median. The next number of crashes are the northbound lane, and we don't see that many crashes on 227.
Okay.
It's the cars that are slamming on their brakes when they see the yellow light and the cars behind them not paying attention and
running right
them
back.
and pushing them.
And I want to clear up something with somebody too, David, and I'll get to you here in just a second. And that is, I know a lot of people think that is County Road 18. A lot of things, it's County Road 18.
Turn into
They don't
18.
turn into 18. I think 4 miles down the road.
18 runs into
To
it.
it, yes.
And then it becomes
18.
Correct.
But that first part of it is 227. So.
That is correct.
Yeah, I come off that road a lot visiting my son, and
Right.
when I get the green light, I usually wait a few seconds.
Yes, good call.
Because these tractor trailers coming from the north and the south, especially coming from the bypass, and they're cranking down that road, and by the time they get up to the light, you know, they're going a little fast.
Sure.
So when they stop, they're stopped almost in the middle of the road.
The speed
Right.
limit there is
Exactly.
55 miles per hour, by the way, ladies.
Yes, it is.
Yes,
Thank
It
you.
is not 65.
It's
not
dangerous
70.
area.
Right. It is not.
Mitchell, you need to do something about
And that's the whole thing. The reason why I've also wanted the bypass to change those speed limit signs and reduce the speed limit down to 45, because it did not make no sense that it had a 65 miles an hour going through that intersection, going southbound, and then the speed limit drops down to 55. It just didn't make sense whatsoever. So those signs will be changed. They're supposed to be changed within 2 weeks. So we're in that second week this week. So I'm hoping FDOT follows what they said and will reduce them this week.
Right.
Also, I was interviewed today again about 21B and State Road 100 by CBS 4 in Gainesville, and that area is up underneath another survey. More because of the reason the RV park's going to be there, and they're going to be opening up in late November. And this is going to cause a lot of chaos, because when people try to pull out with motorhomes or they're pulling trailers, they cannot get up to speed fast enough for cars coming around the curb,
Right.
going into Keystone, or cars going westbound coming up that hill before that intersection.
They're going to pass
So-
a red light there.
We're hoping with this survey, this will help bring a red light to that area. It is much needed. I went through there today coming from home, and man, it was heavily congested
Justin.
and very confusing. Now, I know that the fighting out the entrance to the collection site has helped out a lot. We've only had one accident there in the past 6 months. So changes do help, and hopefully more of those changes are coming along. Also, I want to get into the state of Florida. Governor Ron DeSantis announced new rapid testing for COVID-19. And they will have millions of these tests. To be exact, 6.4 million tests will be used to get back results within 15 minutes. So there will no longer be that delay of 5 days for you to get those results back. And also, speaking about Ron DeSantis, he's also has put us at phase 3 to reopening all the restaurants and all local businesses back to normal. Also, coming down on counties who want to write fines for people who are wearing masks.
They no longer can do that, right?
Gainesville is still trying to do it. They actually, I think, Mayor Pope and also one of the county commissioners, Hutchison, have wrote the governor.
I saw that earlier.
And they're not very happy with that situation. They want to be able to control it because of the University of Florida and the chances of COVID being on the rise.
They just control it to control it.
Just because
to control the people.
The people, not
Right.
COVID-19.
Just because we opened 100% doesn't mean that you drop your guard.
Right. I mean, if you still feel worried or you live with a person who has health conditions, protect yourself to protect them.
Yes.
You know, I know I was out at Gainesville Raceway this weekend for the Gator Nationals, and there was a lot of people wearing masks.
Sure.
And then there was a lot of people that said, "The heck with this! It's too hot. I'm taking this thing off." You know, and on Sunday after the governor had mentioned that he was lifting everything, you really didn't see very many masks at all.
Well, outdoor events are not super spreaders. They can say what they want to. The science is not there. An outdoor event, if you're not wearing a mask, you have very
Now NHRA guidelines. They pretty much set their own standards, so
that's a different story.
Teams and everything, and all officials were supposed to still wear their masks.
Right.
Did they? No, they didn't.
No, they didn't.
That's
I mean, it's really hot. I mean, you figure you're working on a vehicle that just came off the track, and you're wearing this mask, and the temperature and everything coming off that car feels like 150 degrees.
Right.
You really don't feel like wearing a mask. So, but to get on into the Gator Nationals, I know.
I've been it.
It was less than 50%. I would say it was probably down to 35%.
Okay.
On all, both Saturday and Sunday. Now, Friday, I guarantee you it was only 15% of the people that were there. I mean, you could walk and not pass anybody for a good length of a football field. I mean, that's how far the numbers were down.
I've never known to be like that.
And a lot of reasons why this is, the National Hot Rod Racing Association had offered fans to send in their tickets for the 2020 Gator Nationals to be reversed for tickets for 2021.
Right.
So a lot of those people traveled. I actually talked to one person that was from Ontario, Canada.
Wow.
That flew in just to find out that the race was canceled.
So
a lot of those people, they decided to just hold on their money, send their tickets in, and get reimbursed with new tickets for 2021. But it was a great event. Gainesville Raceway done a great job, and all the NHRA staff done a great job to put on the races. Your winner in Top Fuel was Stephen Torrance.
Mm-hmm.
Super nice guy. I know one of the guys who worked for Steve. His name is Clark. There's actually a picture of me, him, and Zane on my Facebook page. And what a great way it was for them to win. Not only was it his first Gator Nationals to win, but he ended up having to run his dad in the final. And the difference was 1/10,000 of a second.
Wow.
That was the difference on the scoreboards. So I think his dad ran a 3.31 with a 9, and Steve ran a 3.80 with a 1 or something like that.
Yeah.
So it was 1/10,000 of a second.
Wow.
And I
that's
think
close.
Steve's speed was 325 miles an hour, and his dad's was 322.
Wow.
But, it was great for them. You know, both of them, father and son, going against each other.
First and second
And I
place.
tell you, a lot of teams try to play games, and they try to tune their cars differently so they can help their teammate out if they've got the edge to win the championship. These guys don't. They set their cars up to go up there and win, every single time.
Right.
And, they lead the family at the starting line.
Yeah.
And it's all about being competitors. Funny Car was actually won by Ron Capps. Pro Stock Car was won by Alex Lofton. A lot of people know him, been following him on Facebook. He's sponsored by Hot Wheels and Havoline Oil. And he does all kinds of things. He sets up tracks for the kids to watch, Hot Wheel tracks and stuff. And
That's pretty neat.
He's a great promoter for the sport and takes a lot of time up with kids. And there's actually a picture of him and Zane together.
Yep.
He's the guy that does
well.
all the YouTube videos of the Hot Wheel tracks, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And he races all kinds of stuff. He races Can-Ams. Anything that's got a wheel in the engine, Alex Watson, he'll jump in it and race it. I can guarantee you that. He's races cars, go-karts.
Yeah.
Very, very nice guy. Actually, that whole Team Elite has really got some great racers and staff. Unfortunately, Zane's driver did not win, Erica Anders. She went out in the second round due to a transmission failure, and she still almost won.
Wow.
That's how good she is. Now on the Pro Stock motorcycle, the winner was Matt Smith. Came with a very stout bike all weekend. He ran a 681 to win, and I think his speed was 197 miles per hour.
That's right.
Another person who had a strong bike that had a racer teammate was Angel Sampay. She ended up going red, 006 red. That is 6/10,000ths of a second from having a perfect light.
Wow.
So we're talking
Minute.
increments there to go green. And, her bike was running in the 685 mark. And put the red light on. She's a great person, a great ambassador for the sport. And, I can say this for all of those teams and all those drivers. I just love the way how they cater to kids and embrace them, because that is the future for the NHRA, is getting those kids involved.
Right.
And them being around the sport, and what can I say? There was a lot of support going on for our country on the cars. You'll see anything from American flags to support for Donald Trump. I came across a Pro Mod car. It is beautiful, and I've actually got the picture of it on my Facebook of the back deck. It says 9/11, never forget.
Right.
And it's got the name of every person that day that perished on the back of that deck lid of that car. Just beautiful. Just the support and the love for our country, just all over the place in the NHRA. And you don't really see that right now in other sports.
No, you don't.
It's
Get
kind
into that.
of died down, or they're afraid to go that route because maybe it'll hurt somebody's feelings. And one thing I can also say, no one kneeled.
That's good enough for me.
But what a great weekend. They'll be back in 6 months. So, again, if you still have your tickets, you want to go next March, contact NHRA Ticket Office, send in those tickets, and they will reimburse you with new ones for 2021.
Nice.
That's all I have, Dave. Back over to you.
All right. Well, I just want to get into a couple of things here. We got a couple of comments. Trump parade and flag waving, as Chris said, on 301 in Lottie on Saturday. Starts to slice and dice at 7 a.m. Chris Brantley, who I work with. Chris, good to see you on. Dwight Allen says, ours was $1 in the 70s. That's not bad. Yeah, that sounds about right. I think mine was like 35 cents. Ooh.
Telling your age.
Yeah, really bad.
Telling your age.
The ribs and smoke check will be ready 11. Yeah. Oh, she wanted me to tell you. Judith said they had a great cruise in Saturday evening. Thank you, Mitchell Gunner and Harry Patel.
20, I think about 22 cars
Nice.
showed up for a first-time event. And I just got to work out some logistics and just make sure I can put it on a date that I can keep it on, because, I'm pretty active with all kinds of stuff, and plus, when the January kicks back off, we got racing season starts back over,
Yeah.
and I have to find out what our schedule is going to be for next year.
Right. Liz Holland is on. Do you know her, Dave?
Yeah.
Donald Stevens, Bobby Gibson, one of my old classmates, Jeff Goins, Linda Atkins. Liz says, we live on Southwest County Road 225, as Dave said. Let's talk about the four vehicles in the past month and a half that have been in the ditches, two of them literally in our front yard, the other two in the neighbors. Cars fly up and down this road all day long.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, I'm going to try to run out there and look at that curve and see if it has any banking or is it a flat curve. Because if it's a flat curve, what tends to happen is a car's going too fast.
Yeah.
That car will start to bicycle and it will get up on two wheels. And then whoop,
Slides
off
off.
it goes.
Yep, you're right.
Well, it's got a little bit of a bank on it.
Yeah, I was about to
A
say,
little bit as you're
Yeah.
coming off of 227 onto 225.
But, we need to, we can use this as a tool
Yes, we can.
to preach to the choir out there to, slow down in these certain areas. Follow those signs, because I guarantee you there's a speed limit sign that probably says 35 miles an hour around that curve. And no one wants to pay attention to it because they're too much in a hurry to get where they're going. And guess where they get to go?
didn't do it.
To the hospital.
Yeah.
To be looked
It's
at.
35 there anyway. When you get out a little bit further, it goes to 45, and then when you come right there before the church,
Yeah.
it turns back into 35, or maybe even 25.
25, maybe. I think it is.
I think they may have changed that, and it may be 25. But yeah, that people have been doing that up and down that road since.
That's right. And
Forever.
that's a county road.
Yes, it is.
So we can discuss stuff like that with our county commissioners and our road department. But, I mean, if the precautions are already out there for people to use as a standard to stay safe, and they're abusing it, well, not only are they going to crash their car, but they're going to get a ticket for reckless
Yes,
driving.
they are. Will Smith. Say hello to Will Smith, man.
Hello, Will. How are
Hey,
you
Will.
doing?
He said, hey, go, boys. And he wanted me to let you, Byron and Mitchell, know, and Mike, Team Hope Christian Lions are 3-0 and ranked number 2 in the state in football. That is great. Can't say that about our Tornadoes, and I'll get into that. And Will Smith said, told y'all. Yep, they are. Sounds like they're pretty good. Carlton Jones said, sounds like the governor wants to just eliminate any local rule, which would save us on local taxes. No county commission, no city councils.
I don't know
I
about
don't know
that.
about that, Carlton, either.
I think he's just trying to get people back to work.
That's what he's trying to
Yeah, I think so.
And that in itself will help create better tax revenue. Of course it will,
Yeah,
for the state and for these counties.
yeah,
And if you don't have that tax revenue, guess what? Services have to be cut somewhere,
yeah.
somehow. Because if you can't afford it, you can't
afford it.
You can't afford
Yeah.
it. With the mask mandate thing, which several people have commented on, my understanding of it is that he's left it basically open to the commissioners,
Yes.
but
Mhm.
he's not allowing them to fine people for not wearing it.
No.
And I'll tell you, you're right, Byron. There's a very thin line there, because if these commissioners push too hard on the governor,
Yep.
the governor has the right to say, you know what, you're gone.
Sure.
He has that right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
with the newly minted terrorist organizations and the certain a certain mayor of Gainesville support for that particular, he may just say that anyway.
Just
Which
man.
would put a smile on my face because
Charles McKinney, here you go, Dave
Yeah,
Holland. He
well,
says he wanted me to read this to you. Come on, man. I got hairy legs that turn gold in the sun. And what I learned about roaches, I learned from kids jumping on my lap. And I love kids jumping on my lap. Signed, Joe Biden.
okay, now everybody's going to laugh about that, but that actually is very close to the direct quote that Joe Biden
Yes, it
actually
was pretty
made.
close. I was just going to, yeah. It was.
That's
Yeah.
really close to
It
what
is.
he said,
It
and,
is.
and the majority of that is it's absolutely in the spirit of what he said. Not sure it's the exact word for word, but it's
No,
close.
it's pretty close.
It's close.
Yeah.
Like I said, Pedo Joe.
No, you don't want to say the other part.
Oh,
Never mind.
yeah, and I will say the other part.
Well, you
And
say, there you go. Two-faced dog, pony soldier.
Okay, now you forgot the lying part about that. It's lying, dog face, pony soldier.
Let's see. Ralph Thornton is on.
That's another one.
Yeah. Russell Smith is on. Mark Udy's on. Hey, hello, Mark Udy. Roy Jackson, what's up with COVID? Did anybody want to get into that?
The
a little
numbers have gone down 700 this week.
Yeah, it'll be after the election.
Yeah, and that's my saying too. This is great cruising weather. Donald Stevens says, yes, it is.
It's beautiful.
Hey, and I'm surprised Liz said something right here that really, really scares me about that road. He says your granddaughter has to walk that road to get to her bus stop, and it terrifies her.
Yeah.
Of course it does.
Yeah, I don't blame her.
Yeah,
I don't blame her.
But I will definitely ride out there and look at it, and if I have to, I'll bring it to the attention of the commissioners. But I imagine that commissioner out there is probably paying attention to it.
She's been getting an earful about all the stuff that's been happening.
Has she?
Patrick
Okay.
Jordan?
Yes,
One of them and his wife? I would imagine so. The big house is right there on the left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Donald Stevens, don't need
Probably should not
laws.
have announced that on
Well,
but
that's
it's too
it.
late now.
You're too late now. Don't need laws changed or lights. People just need common sense and respect for for people and each other on the road. Well, no doubt about that.
No doubt.
Judith says like 80% accurate. Mrs. Bagwell is on. Say hello to Mom.
Hello,
Hi, Mom.
Hey, Miss Bagwell.
You got a look on your face. Is Mom conjuring up something?
Well, we had a little event that we sort of just skipped right over. Remember what was supposed to happen last Tuesday?
Oh,
We all
yes.
forgot about what happened with this group.
With this group, that's right.
We
I
need to
did.
reschedule that and let my mother know.
All right, we do need to reschedule that. I'll tell you what, we need to because
Feed the show pony and he's good.
And he's good. Raymond, no, back on. Tammy Testone, say hello to Albie.
Alvin!
Hey, Albie, good
All
evening.
right, continuing on. Welcome on the spot with David Rodgers.
Thank you.
Early 30 minutes edition. Went a little bit early because of what? The debate. Of course, everybody
The
wants
most
to watch the
important
debate.
thing that's going to be on TV tonight at 9 o'clock.
At 9 o'clock. Going to last an hour and a half. Chris Wallace is the moderator on this. I know he's got 5 different questions he's going to be asking the 2 candidates. And I want to see how both candidates answer these questions. I want to see, too, really, how Chris Wallace handles this.
Chris Wallace is going to be a good moderator.
Yes, he is.
He normally is. He
Yeah.
doesn't trap people.
No.
He doesn't lead people. He
No.
doesn't set up people. He just asks questions and
Yeah.
lets them talk about it.
Yeah.
When somebody gets really out of line, then he'll
Yeah.
say something. It should be good. It should be really good.
Yeah. Byron Bagwell, Mr. Michael Eater, Mr. Dave Holland, Mr. Mitch Gunn, you've already heard. I'm going to turn it over because we want to get out of here just a little bit early, and my stomach is growling, Byron. After you mentioned about Miss Bagwell,
I know.
so my stomach is like that.
Sounds like a Sophia is coming.
Sophia is coming. But I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Byron Bagwell. Let's get on to some national news, brother. What do you have for us and our fine people on?
I won't stay too long because I
Okay.
know what people want people. I know
You want a
people-
Sophia?
No, no. Y'all are gonna make me fat with that Sophia mess. Look, guys, I know y'all want to watch the debate, and I'm normally long-winded, so I'm going to keep this one relatively short.
Let me write this down.
Yeah, that's it.
The first time ever.
Get a signature.
yeah.
Tell me, go.
And
Go.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, there are some things that I want everybody to understand about what's going to come up with this debate. There is a serious issue that has come out this week with Donald Trump, and apparently, the New York Times has released his tax reports. Some of them.
Some of them.
Now, let me inform everybody first and foremost. The New York Times committed a felony by doing this without his permission, by the way.
Yep.
Okay? And it wouldn't surprise me if the journalists that did that would be held accountable for it. They should be held accountable for it because it's against the law to do this. Second off, their headline about $750, Trump pays $750 in taxes, is so disingenuous that they fact check themselves at the end of the article and actually tell you how much he paid in taxes. What he did, and you can use semantics if you want to, is he prepaid his taxes. One year he paid like $2 million, and the next year he paid like $4.2 million to prepay those taxes that he did not pay for all of those years. So the bottom line with this, what's going to happen tonight with the debate, and I can hear it now because we're going to get it from Joe Biden, and President Trump's going to flat tell you just what I just did. And I want to see what Joe Biden's response is going to be to that. Because quite frankly, if I was the president of the United States and they had done that to my taxes, the first call I would have made would have been at the Justice Department.
Right.
And somebody would be in prison right now, awaiting trial. Because there's no need to prove that. They prove that themselves. So I just want everybody to understand this. The New York Times, in that article that everybody is having a fit about, actually proved in their own article that their headline was a load of garbage. Just to let everybody know. I mean, Mitchell's sitting over here smiling because he's seeing it and he knows it. But if you just read the headline, it's like, Donald Trump paid how much in taxes? Well, I pay more in taxes than that. Well, no, you don't pay more than the first payment and the second payment he made to prepay his taxes.
Right. You know why they did that? They did that to correct themselves. But they also know people are not going to read the whole entire
article.
They read the whole entire article.
Right. That's exactly right.
The orange man did not pay his taxes. And I'm sitting here going, you didn't read the whole thing. Really? You didn't read the whole thing? You really did not read the whole thing. And the New York Times is laughable. That is a laughable news organization.
Yes,
they are so false, and they are so, just misrepresenting the things that they publish. They've done it. They've got a history of it. And it's sickening, quite frankly, to me.
Mad TV was better.
You know, you were talking.
The Inquirer is better than them.
You know, and it's funny that you say that. I'm going to throw it just off this a little bit, and we're going to get right back to you. Even, it's not just their political articles or their government articles. It's their sports articles.
It's everything.
It's everything. I've read some of their sports articles, and I'm going,
it's garbage.
Where did you get that garbage at?
The only thing the New York Times is good for, period, and has been for the last 100 years, is to start a campfire. That's the only thing that they're good for.
Or clean your windshield.
Clean your windshield.
Yeah.
Lighting the birdcage.
Newspaper's good for
you can save them and recycle it and get some money out of it.
No, I don't think so.
Well, they'll buy any kind of paper.
I don't want that rot in my house.
Well, just scratch out the top part and recycle.
Unfortunately, the newspaper industry is just as
corrupt as
the
mainstream media,
as mainstream news and media.
They really are. They are part of the mainstream media. And you sit back and look at all of it, and you get this type of basically propagandizing of their constituents, which is unbelievable that there's not a whole lot of them that are sitting back and going, wait a minute, I'm a business person. I know exactly what he did. I do the same thing. What are you people talking about?
Right.
That is slander is what that is. Mm-hmm. So, but anyway, the New York Times, read the whole article. It's unbelievable. It's laughable to me that an editor would actually allow that to go forward. The only answer to that is they are actually really honest. It's true. They are propaganda. They are not media.
No,
they're in the pockets of the Democrat Party, and they're going to print whatever they can against the Orange Man.
Yep.
And I'm going to stop calling him Donald Trump because I'm going to, from this point forward until he wins this election, I am going to use the left's moniker for him, the Orange Man. Why not? I mean, he's our president, and I love him, and I respect him as President Trump, really. But I want people to understand just how ridiculous they sound when they say that. Orange Man bad, like I've said in the past. Democrat, good. That's what you sound like. So keep on saying things like Orange Man, and you know that we're sitting back laughing at you because you have.
Do you think it's going to be set up the debate tonight?
Orange Man?
Yeah.
No.
No, of course not.
Unless Joe Biden comes out.
Well, wait a minute. He may not remember. He may goof up.
He can have a lapse.
Yes, yeah.
I
A
mean,
moment,
because-
carry lapse of reason.
Well,
He always has that.
Harry,
Yeah.
Pink Floyd,
By the way.
But-
Yeah.
You know, we've seen it in the past. I mean, it's possible. You know, the lying dog-faced pony soldier thing.
Yes. Yep.
Good
Yeah.
Lord. But, I just wanted to go over that briefly. Look, read the article. It's a load of just absolute, utter, disingenuous political sophistry is what it is.
Right.
So, just to let people know, read it.
Political sophistry?
Sophistry.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's my new big word of the
That's
day.
my word.
Sophistry is not a big word. Pusillanimous is a big word. That's some of that, too.
There's been a lot of that going on. Anything else you really want to come into real quick? Go ahead and get a couple.
There was a couple other things that I wanted to talk about, and I'm going to leave this one hanging a little bit.
Let's do. I love cliffhangers.
I did not get to investigate this fully,
Okay.
and I really want to investigate this fully and spend about 30 minutes on it because it is very important. Just to let everybody know, there was a request done by a senator, a Republican senator by the name of Lindsey Graham, who was at the head of a committee that was investigating things that went on with, guess what? Russian collusion.
That's it.
Okay? Guess what? Our intelligence agencies just released some information to Senator Lindsey Graham. And that information, which I just heard on the radio from Lindsey Graham himself, says that the FBI was investigating Hillary Clinton for a frame job which she was trying to do on Donald Trump. Basically using the Steele dossier, who she hired a lawyer who hired Steele. We've talked about this over and over again, okay, to cover up her email scandal. They had intelligence from guess who saying that. You're never going to believe this one. You're never going to believe this one in a million years. Guess where the intelligence come from? Guess what they always also said that they were trying, that the Hillary Clinton campaign was trying to do?
Clueless. You tell
To
us.
frame a presidential candidate. They were colluding with the Russians.
Yes.
Once again, they were colluding with the Russians, according to an intelligence report that was released from our intelligence agencies.
Back in 2016, right?
16.
2016.
In 2016,
Yeah.
this is when this come out.
And it was brought up to President Obama.
And it was
Yes.
actually brought up to President Obama.
Right.
They never informed our president's campaign about it,
Right.
him or anybody else. They proceeded to railroad our president. And quite frankly, when all of this comes out, I don't want you just to apologize to him. I don't want you to look into the cameras, and I want you to apologize to this country, the American citizens, because you put us through hell for 2 years, 2.5 years.
Yeah.
And then you tried to railroad him with the Ukraine mess, which was the dumbest mess. It was even worse than he's a Russian spy.
Right.
This is going to cause people to go to jail if Donald Trump is reelected. Mark my words.
Well, Mitchell said something, and I hope you're right, because, we get all this news out here, we get all these facts, we know they're proven facts, and then guess what happens, Martin? I'm really sick and tired of
They don't
seeing
do
this.
anything. They don't do
You're
anything.
all right. You're
They
okay.
don't do anything. at
I'm
all.
tired of it.
Give
It's
me
$100,000.
$100,000.
Yeah, we'll
we'll
call it
let it
even.
go away.
I'm sick and tired of it.
Well, here's the problem with this. I'm starting to put two and two together with all of this. Because guess what? We now have FBI agents and a prosecutor by the name of Mueller, whose equipment was wiped clean after they did the Russian investigation
On him, yeah.
Trump. Completely wiped clean. 26 different people.
Yeah.
Just you know how you reset the phones and all the data's wiped off? I'm like, no, you clean that off. Bull.
Yeah.
If it was one of them, I could understand you made a mistake. 26 people. Okay? Now you're getting that the FBI could possibly have been involved with what Hillary Clinton and the DNC and her campaign did Donald Trump with that Steele dossier. So if the FBI knew about this and they were supposed to be investigating Hillary Clinton, what did they investigate and what did they come up with?
Well, why,
did they do any investigation at all?
See, and that's what I was just going to say. Did they?
I don't think that has been put out yet.
Right.
I don't know 100% about all of this because I was trying to catch this
right
as I was driving through the Great Flood coming through Hampton.
That's a great.
It was flooding in Hampton, by the way. So I'm driving there, listening to this, trying not to drive off the road, saying not very polite words. Are you kidding me? But anyway, this is something you can look up. Senator Lindsey Graham has released this. This is not something that I'm sitting here making up. You can look it up. And it does not look good on the Democrat Party for this. They should be held accountable for it because they were involved. They're talking about Hillary Clinton. They're talking about the FBI. But the DNC and Hillary Clinton's campaign are the ones that paid for the Steele dossier. The DNC. That's the Democrat National Committee. Okay? That means the Democrat Party was involved with this. If they find out that they did this, I want to know who knew about it. And I want to see some people sitting in Leavenworth for this.
Hey, listen to this. You know if President Obama knew about it. You know Joe Biden knew about it.
Joe Biden knew about it because he tried to. He tried to.
Do you know who else knew about it?
I'm trying to remember the name of that dumb act that nobody's ever been charged for. That was in like 1798 or 1803 or whatever it was called that they tried to use on General Flynn. Oh, and by the way, that judge who's been commanded to drop the case still hasn't dropped the case. I don't know why they haven't jerked him off the bench. For General Flynn, an American hero that served 31 years in the military.
Right.
Hero.
What else you got, D?
Now, I wanted to say a little bit about something that's probably going to happen tonight with this.
Okay.
What you're going to see is you're going to see Joe Biden do some things that are very good. You're going to see some things that show Joe Biden is not mentally capable of being president of the United States. And on a very sobering thought with this, it makes me sad. It makes me sad that a political party would use somebody who is not mentally capable as a puppet. To try to win a presidential election because they want to put forth an agenda that is not popular with the American people. And that's exactly what they're doing. People can try to say otherwise. They know Joe Biden has been considered a moderate forever. The socialist wing, leftist wing, communist wing of that party, whatever you want to call it, is the one that's calling the shots behind the scenes. All you've got to do is look at that 210-page monstrosity of a communist manifesto that he's got put out. If you read that, it starts reading like the Constitution of the USSR. That's what it starts to read like.
Bernie Sanders handed that to him.
That's exactly right. Yeah. Bernie Sanders. There were Bernie Sanders talking points from when he was running.
Yeah.
Look. I feel sorry for the man. I don't understand how his family can allow him to do this. I don't understand what Jill Biden's ulterior motive for saying her husband is losing it mentally. I just don't understand it because you can sit there and listen to the man talk. And I mean, I know people get tongue-tied and they'll say stuff, but this is over and over and over and over and over again. Guys, he is sunk that low.
See, and that was going to be my question.
Have you sunk so low that you're going to use somebody like that?
It's really sad. You're right.
David, it makes me even more glad that I am not associated with that party anymore because I don't want to be associated with people that would use somebody like that.
Right.
And that's really what they're doing to Joe Biden. Just some thoughts that come off the top of my mind about this. Donald Trump is going to run rings around Joe Biden tonight.
Yes, he is.
It's not going to be fair.
No, it isn't.
And I'm going to tell you, Joe Biden was never great at doing this.
Right.
He was good at doing this. He was never great.
Right.
Okay. Donald Trump destroyed some great people with his debate skills.
Yep.
He's going to be a part psychologist, part tactician, and he is going to tear Joe Biden apart.
Yes, he is.
And he's sitting back there laughing, but part of me finds this very sad, like I just was saying.
I do too. I really do as well.
This is not what should happen.
No, and that's exactly
It's
right.
not really what should happen. And I'm going to tell you this: if he's got an earpiece in his ear and he starts sounding coherent, I'm not going to believe a word that comes out of the man's mouth.
And
Just to let you know, because they were supposed to check those, and now the Democrat Party saying, no, you can't. My response to that would be then, well, you can't have an earpiece, period.
Well, even with dementia, started dementia, and I've read up a little bit on this, and I don't know how much I'll know about it. Even though, Byron, that he would have that earpiece in, doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to say what is coming off that earpiece.
Well,
You have a struggling, and I know where you're coming with that. You still have a struggle even talking or even hearing and deciphering what you're going to say.
The later
you
phase.
could make it worse.
Correct.
At the
Yes.
later phases. To
It
begin with, he's not. He could actually probably do that for a little while before he loses his train of thought.
Correct.
Here's the thing I'm going to say about this. It's going to look like a person who has been schooled over and over and over.
Yes,
He's going to say one thing.
Yeah.
He's going to keep on repeating that same thing. He's going to say another thing, and he's going to keep on repeating that same thing. Donald Trump is going to destroy the narrative, and then he's going to repeat that same thing again. And Donald Trump's going to look around like, I
just told you. Right.
why that was wrong.
Right.
And then you're going to get, no, it's not. It's exactly right. And we're going to get the childish argument that style that we're getting used to from this group.
Mm-hmm.
And one more thing before we go.
Sure.
Watch Illinois Omar in Minnesota. There is some stuff that's about to happen.
Yes.
To this
Yes.
Harvesting ballots.
Yes.
and they've got
Yeah.
people that were harvesting ballots
Ballots.
for her
Yes.
on camera,
Mm-hmm.
giving payments to people
Right.
for their votes. They said you have to sign these votes over to the Democrat Party, and we'll give you between $200 and $800. Watch for it.
Yeah.
It's going to break. I've already been told that the DOJ, the local police, the FBI, and the county police are all involved with this because they're federal ballots.
Mm-hmm.
If they prove that she is in this, that congresswoman is in this,
Doesn't work.
Yeah.
they will send her to prison
Prison,
for a
yeah.
very, very long time, and that seat will stay vacant until the next election. I hope so too. That's
Yeah.
one of your wonderful squad, by the way.
Yep.
I don't know who that is.
Coming up on some sports radio. Thank you, Byron, for that. Again, coming on earlier than usual, 30 minutes early, started at 6:30 because we all want to watch the debate. We all want to go grab something to eat, of course. So I hope y'all have eaten at home and y'all are getting ready for the debate. Speaking of eating, your mom said she's working on that cake for us, by the way.
Oh,
we'll certainly get a cake.
Cheesecake.
Yes, and
Strawberry
Liz
shortcake.
said-
Cheesecake. I'm telling you,
It's
if
not
she makes
cheesecake,
what I
yeah.
saw coming home from
Whatever
Tennessee,
she makes is going to be good.
Yeah.
dude, this thing,
Just what was
Come on, come on.
It is
Let it
a
out.
new take on a Southern classic. I will give you that much.
Oh, here we
With
go.
a marine pie.
No,
Mississippi mud cake.
I'm going.
Ah!
No. I'll give you this much. It's a form of cobbler, but it's not a form of cobbler.
Ooh.
It's a form of cobbler, but it's not a form of cobbler.
It is, but it isn't.
Oh
No,
my
it
God.
is, but it isn't. It isn't. It really is. I don't want to give away too much.
Listen, when we come out there looking that way, when all of us come out, she said, we'll have lunch waiting for us. She'll have lunch waiting for us.
Who said that?
Dave's daughter-in-law.
Okay.
And there's some other good comments, but I want Taco Tuesday. Somebody who wrote that? Who said that Taco Tuesday?
I don't know, but I'm proud of him.
Donald Stevens said Taco Tuesday. You got that right.
Y'all can have
Yeah.
all the tacos you want to.
Just real quick, we're going to get into some sports. Let's start off with the pro sports, and I'll be the first one to tell you, and I think my fellow constituents here will agree. I don't watch pro sports anymore because of what's going on, the narrative and everything that's happening with it, but I do keep up with at least what's going on in major things. Tampa Bay Lightning, congratulations, won the Stanley Cup last night. So I support my Florida teams when everything is going okay. So Tampa Bay, congratulations on that. You've got the Miami Heat is going to be playing the Lakers for the NBA championship. Again, if none of this was going on, I'd be rooting for the Heat to clobber the mess out of them because I'm not a big LeBron James fan anyway. We've got the baseball playoffs going on. The Braves are the number 2 seed. The Dodgers number 1 seed in the National League. Your Oakland A's are
Playing White Sox.
right. Are they the number 3 seed?
I'm not for sure because I haven't really been watching.
I know. And I was trying to remember. I think they're the 3 seed. They're in. So all that is starting up. College football.
Speaking
Okay.
of college football,
He's got something.
Hey, I got something for you.
Yeah,
Speaking of college football, I heard that Florida State was getting 3 truckloads of vacuum cleaners and straws.
Why is that?
Because they suck.
I will say this.
That's
The
breaking
environment.
news.
Hey, I'm going to tell you how much we love football. And just not our Seminoles. We love football, period. We was on the phone the whole game, Lovely Byron,
Pretty much.
talking about what was going on, what was going wrong. And I'm going to tell you
There
something.
wasn't much going right.
Oh, the first drive looked
The
good.
first drive looked great. After that, it was, I don't know what happened. And just a buzzsaw came.
Y'all need Willie
So-
back. That's all I got to say.
no,
I need
no,
Willie
no,
Taggart
no,
back.
No,
At least y'all stayed in the game.
No.
No.
Gotta remember. You got to remember.
No.
Mike Norvell was not there at that game. He was quarantined with COVID, so he wasn't on the sidelines roaming around jacking these guys up. So that's number 1. I think number 2 for Florida State is y'all see if y'all agree. I don't see no fire. I don't see them wanting to play as a team. You know what I mean? I think you've got individuals that's been in the system for a while now that just want to do it their way, and they think their way is going to win ball games. And it's coming to find out if you play as an individual, you're not going to win any ball games, and you're going to get your tail beat
I really
just
don't.
like
I
you
really
did.
don't
You
think
sit
it's,
them on the bench and you let freshmen come.
Thank you, and that's what I was just getting ready to
Go
say.
ahead and start rebuilding the team. If they don't want to put forth the effort,
Right.
you sit their butts on the bench and say, hey, if you're not going to go out there and give it your all and play with your heart,
Right.
then I don't need you on my
I don't
on
need
my
you on
field.
on my field or on my football
I've
team.
had several conversations with some of the people, some of the FSU fans about this.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were saying, well, you probably thought those targeting penalties were bad. The first targeting penalty was right on. The guy should have been thrown a flag.
Right.
The Wilson flag should not have been thrown. Wilson was going down to form tackling. The guy bent down with his head, and their heads collided.
Yeah.
And any time that happens with any team, it's not just FSU. I want to go through the TV.
But Byron, let's be real. Though. It wouldn't have made
It wouldn't have made a difference.
It wouldn't have made
The
a
only
difference
way that
because
you
I'm
can
going to be
stop
honest with you.
The only way that you can stop that, both professionally and college, is you have to tell your running backs and wide receivers they can no longer duck down while they're running the ball.
Yeah, well,
That's
that's
a rule
yeah.
that they would have to put in place.
What they need to do is they need to basically put a rule in that stops that penalty from happening when they go back and watch it on replay,
Right.
and they say somebody
Yeah.
going like this while the other guy's coming in like this because
Because they're calling targeting like whether if it's helmet to helmet, it's targeting.
targeting.
It doesn't matter, like Byron said, the circumstance, and I think there should be circumstance.
That circumstance,
yes.
it doesn't matter whether
Right.
it's running back
Right. Or a
lineman,
lineman,
a wide receiver, a DB,
Right.
a linebacker. It doesn't matter.
Well, another thing that you can do, you can also have a targeting call on offense if an offensive player lowers his head.
Well,
and goes toward it.
I'm glad that you said that. I'm
How
glad
are
that you
you
said
going to destroy the game by doing that stuff?
But I'm glad that you said
Get rid
that.
of the dumb targeting
Or
calls.
get rid of it, right. And that's
Yeah.
exactly right. I'm with you, Byron. I think that the replay booth should go, hey, that guy ducked his head. He was coming in with his shoulder. They met helmet to helmet. No targeting, no penalty.
Right.
Whatever the play is there, the play is there.
Yeah.
So if it's a 10-yard completion, it's a 10-yard completion, first down. If it's an incomplete pass, there should be nothing done after that.
I don't know
And
how
I
you.
agree. I agree with Marvin. It wouldn't have made a difference in this
It doesn't
game.
make a difference.
Because I want to ask you something really quick. You watch the game a little bit, Mike? You did not. I know you were at the races and doing the thing there. Dave, did you watch the game a little bit?
A little bit.
Okay. Did you Marvin Wilson's just not playing with fire? Something is going on. There's a disconnect there. He's not lighting anybody's ass, excuse me.
Except for that guy that he hit with the target penalty.
Well,
he,
yeah.
I mean, he depleted that
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
I mean, that was.
But I'm talking about verbally. And I don't know if he's that kind of
He
player.
may not be that kind of player. I don't know.
Somebody needs to step up and go. If me and you were in the
Those
locker
seniors
room and
need to step
Mitchell,
up.
and we just got our tails
Why don't we
handed
talk to
52.
our boy?
Yeah, well, there, yeah. How about that? Yeah.
His father may rewatch. Just talk to him.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to get into somebody's rear end because I'm going to tell you the difference that I see between this year and last year is I think the scheme is good. I think the defensive scheme is good. I think the special teams scheme is
I
good.
agree with those special teams.
There's a disconnect between
Yeah.
what's supposed to happen as a team and the players, and I don't know if it's the coaches can't
I could
fire
tell you
these
this.
players up that's been there forever and have had 1,400 different coaches. I think that's a big part of the problem.
It is.
Part
I
of the
will say
problem
that.
there. They've had so many coaches. It's like what? But and Mitchell's absolutely right about this. If I was the head coach of that football team,
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say.
My
Sit
response
down.
for the
Get
next
out of the way.
my response for the next game would be this is going to change this next game. There's
Yeah.
going to be fire on this team, and we're going to play as a team together. The first time I see you not doing that,
Yeah.
you're going to come sit on this bench, and I'm going to start somebody that's either a
Second
freshman,
strings.
second string. I don't
If you're
care
going to
who
take
leads
the
rest
box,
of the game,
exactly. Thank you.
Take it on
Thank you.
rebuilding
Yeah,
the
rebuild
team.
it.
That's exactly right because I people.
Being contagious.
Yeah.
You know, winning's contagious,
Contagious.
but also
Losing is contagious.
Where's Terry? Where was Terry?
Terry,
That's the other
did you
thing,
see
right?
him running doing this? Remember we talked a little
Oh,
bit.
yeah, that's right. That's right.
Remember he
did.
got into the coach's face about something,
Yeah.
and I'm like, Odell Higgins, by the way.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is he arguing with Odell Higgins for? And I'm like, oh my goodness. Anyway, I heard some good news. Please, I hope this happens, and I don't know if Mr. Griffiths is on. Chubba Purdy may start this week.
I wouldn't have a problem with him
If
starting.
Chubba Purdy starts this week, you're going to see a little different fire. This kid's supposed to be the real deal. Now, you got to have an offensive line to block for
That's
you.
right.
But here's the thing. He's smarter than Blackman, I think, and he can run. This kid's 4.4 speed and can run the ball.
Well,
So he could be able to get out of problems. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Can't get him hurt. He's coming off of a collarbone surgery.
They shouldn't run him, but they give him an opportunity to run out to the flats and still get
Yeah.
rid of the ball to keep it
Yeah.
alive.
Yeah.
I will tell you this too. I would start the second string quarterback if they played in the last half of the game. Roderman before
Yeah.
I would start Blackman.
Oh, absolutely.
He looked like he had a better handle on the offense than Blackman did for every series, with the
I
exception
agree.
of the start.
I agree. So that's enough for Florida State. I thought Florida looked really good. Trask is the real deal. Got a load.
Lots of points on him.
Yeah, and I know that you're going to say, Ole Miss scored 35 points on them. First
Lots of
game,
points.
hey, first game, defense still got to get into the groove. Florida's going to score points on you. And Trask and Pitts,
Alabama?
whew, man, I'm going to tell you right now, I think they're going to light up LSU. And I'll talk about that in a minute.
Little sister to the poor,
Yeah.
yeah. They can light
And
up
if
LSU.
Georgia doesn't find some offense, they're going to light Georgia up too.
Yeah.
Georgia's got a good defense, but are you going to ask the defense to hold you in a game against Trask and Pitts and those guys?
That's
You
asking a
can't.
lot of your secondary.
I've watched that for how many years now?
Oh yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
And I don't know if they're going to match up very well with Pitts.
I don't know. I don't think so. There ain't too
Pitts
many
is
people.
a,
Phew, he's a man amongst
super,
boys.
super talented tight end.
You know what they did, man? And y'all watch this, dude. They lined him up in the slot. He's like a receiver.
Who you
Sitting
talking
him
about?
down. Pitts,
Pitts.
the tight end for Florida.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, what do you have? 170 yards and 4 touchdowns. I mean, they couldn't even stop this guy. No, they would double and triple team and still catch the ball.
I do have one question for you, and
Yeah.
this is not about Florida.
Okay,
Do you think Florida State's that bad?
and you talk
And
about this.
Miami is actually, or is Miami
We're
actually
gonna find-
that good?
We're going to find out how good Miami is, not this week, but next week when they go to Clemson, South Carolina, and they play the number 1 team in the country. Is Miami back? No, they're not back.
No, they're not.
They're not back.
They're
Like
not the old
they're
Miami.
not the old Miami yet. They got a little swag. They're not the old Miami of Michael Irvin and Disney Blake. No, there's not going to be too many like that.
There's some.
I think they got
They're
some
not the
firepower.
Jimmy Johnson Miami.
No, they're not. No, or the Larry Coker Miami.
Right.
Yeah, or
So
what's the
you-
other coach there? The one that went to Washington there. What's his name? I can't. Dennis Erickson.
Eric.
Yeah. That's not the Miami that you're seeing right now. However, I do think they're good. I think they've got something going. And if you can play the number 1 team in the country to a 7 or 10 point ball game, I'm not going to say you're back, but I think you're pretty damn good.
They're on the right track.
Yeah, I
I'll be
think
on
so.
I really,
Miami's
since back
good.
looking at it myself, I think it's a combination of Florida State's.
That's not good.
I-
That's not good, Byron. I mean, what we're seeing on the field, they're not good. There's a disconnect.
I don't
What they need to
understand.
do is grab those players in that locker room and say, you know what? You're not playing for you. You're playing for him. You're playing for this guy. You're playing for that guy.
Somebody needs to do that.
We're a team, not individuals here.
Well, here's the thing. How can we go from looking like what we did on defense the week before? I know we lost that football game.
Right,
How can we go from looking like we did on defense the week before, which was good?
right.
The special teams were unbelievably good. I mean, we had 2 or 3 interceptions.
As bad as we are, do you know we still lead the country in special team special team blocks and kicks and everything else? We lead the country, and that as bad as we are.
Yeah.
So we got Jacksonville State this week. What they need to do is what you said, and what you said. They need to come out there and make a statement on those boys. I don't care what division they're in or what they are. Beat them guys 52-3. Move on
Get
and
some
go get the
momentum.
next. Yes,
Get
get
some
some
momentum.
momentum.
But if they come out and they struggle against them,
See,
the
that's my-
season is done for Florida State.
Yeah.
And that's when you say, hey, we got to start playing our freshmen
Yeah.
and our sophomores
Yeah.
more. We got to start building this program. Not next year,
No,
but
now.
we got to
Now.
start building
Now.
it today.
Right now.
Right now. So, oh boy, we just got an honest man bad. But anyway,
That's more Republican sports.
So-
That's making fun of.
Oh,
yeah.
I know.
There's other good football teams out there. Alabama's still Alabama. LSU is
Mississippi
not
State.
LSU. Mississippi State is good.
Clemson.
Clemson is definitely good. Clemson, Alabama, they haven't lost a beat. I want to see what Ohio State does here in a month.
We got to
We'll
see
see.
how good Mississippi State really is,
We'll find out.
or if LSU is just in a state of rebuilding.
I think so. See, they thought they was going to be reloading. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I think they may be in a rebuilding. Who's your sleeper team?
I've got a sleeper team I'm going to tell everybody about. And I really think
I
this
know.
team
I know.
is so
Do they wear the baby blue?
They wear baby blue. I think they are so extremely dangerous. They've got good talent, and they've got a great coach.
Yes,
And
they
that's
do.
North Carolina.
Carolina.
The
People
Yeah,
are
Tar Heels.
looking at me like
Yeah.
I'm
No,
crazy
I'm
for
not.
saying that. I say that over and over and over again. Who did they beat a couple of years ago? When
they-
they were ranked number 1?
Yeah. Well, no, they didn't beat them, but they came close to
Oh,
beating
that's
them.
right. That's
Yeah,
right.
last year, remember 2 point, 2
2
point,
points.
2 point conversion. Clemson had stopped 2 point conversion. They would have lost.
Would have lost
Yeah.
the football game.
And they was a 3 or 4 win team last year, and now they're ranked. And I'm telling you, North Carolina's good.
I watched them play, and they knocked the rust
Yeah.
off about 3/4 the
I
way
think-
through
yeah.
the second half of that game.
Game.
And
Yeah.
I mean, they just I
Right.
can't remember who it was. It was not a bad team.
No,
They
who
will
did
be
play?
bowl eligible, I do believe.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah, I think they're going to win 9 or 10 games.
I really honestly believe that they're going to lose one football game, and that's going to be against Clemson.
Yeah.
And guess who they're going to upset?
Yeah.
They're going to upset Notre Dame.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah. And that is that game this week? I'm
I
going to have to look that up because I believe that game is this week. I don't know
if it's this week, Notre Dame, you best eat your Wheaties.
Yeah.
That is a good, not only is it a good talent-wise football team, the coach is unbelievably good.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Anybody got a sleeper team besides North Carolina?
I'll tell you what. I know this. It's not a sleeper, and I'm gonna be honest with you. You said it right there. I think Notre Dame's a good football team. I think Notre Dame's gonna beat some people that
They'll have 7 wins.
Who Notre Dame? I think they're going to have more than that. I think they're going to have 9 or 10 wins. I think the only person I really see them losing to is the potential, and I won't call it
You're
just
right,
yet.
because
It's
they're not
North
having
Carolina.
played them other schools because
Well,
they're
they're-
not participating.
Well,
So they're on a different schedule.
they're playing in ACC, so they got to play the ACC schedule,
Right.
and they got
North Carolina and
Clemson.
North
Yeah,
Carolina and Clemson.
I'll say, I think they lose to Clemson, and who's not? I mean, and like you said, North Carolina is one of those toss-up things, and this could go around where the winner of the ACC could have 2 losses.
Sure.
Could think about it. Sure, think about it. I mean, Clemson could get beat by North Carolina, and then they turn around and beat Notre Dame, and Notre Dame turn.
Right.
And then somebody else could jump somebody. But what about Miami? Yeah, what about Miami hitting one of those guys?
Right.
Could
It
have
might be
2
in
losses.
Miami's favor.
Could maybe.
They may come out as a surprise.
That's
With them destroying each other. And then you got to think about the injuries that may come along the way to those teams when they play each
I'll
other.
tell you another couple of teams too. Virginia Tech. Watch out for them. Those boys are good too.
I want to see Miami beat, and I mean really beat one of those 2 teams, 3 teams.
Talking Clemson, North Carolina.
Clemson, North Carolina,
Or Notre Dame.
or Notre Dame. I want to see them beat those teams before I say they're completely back.
That's what I want to say too. I want to see that too.
If they beat Notre Dame by 10 points, and
Yeah.
they beat Clemson by 3, and they beat North Carolina by 3 or 7,
right.
something like that,
Think of that.
they'll be back.
Yeah, they're back, and they're ranked in the top 5,
They'll
maybe
be
top 3. They may be number 1.
1 or 2.
Yeah,
Now, as far as the playoffs, one of those teams is going to be Florida. If they can continue playing like they did this past week and put up 6 touchdowns,
the problem is
Or
if y'all win,
Travis
if y'all win the
Alabama.
East, you got to play Bama.
that's right.
They look really
So
good.
if Bama beats them, and then you've got an Ohio State that's coming back into the picture, and an Oregon that's
Do
going
you
to be
think
coming.
they can still be with that one loss and still make it in the top
I
4?
think so.
One of
I would
those?
give it to them because
Florida,
you know what?
Alabama.
Ohio State and the Pac-12 is only going to play 7 or 8 games. How is that fair to a Florida?
Right.
I would personally put Florida in.
And that will hurt when it comes to the coaches poll.
At 4.
When they do the
Yeah.
coaches
I
poll, it's
wouldn't
gonna
do
hurt.
that over the 10.
Oh, no.
But the
No.
Pac-12,
Yeah.
I would do it over them.
Oh, God, yes.
Any day. They don't play.
Would you do it over
defense.
Ohio State?
If Ohio State was sitting at 4,
If Ohio State played 8 games, okay, they
Okay.
start here in about 3
and
weeks.
somebody else was in the 3rd position, and they were giving either Ohio State.
Ohio State's 8-0. They're going to the Big Ten championship game. They win it. They're 9-0. Florida is sitting there 11-1,
And you're talking about
and they lose to Alabama.
for the last playoff position.
Yes,
Yeah. And that's going to be really hard for the
because
coaches
that's
poll.
going to be tough.
The
Because
pick.
Ohio State was
Because they
supposed to
only
be
play
one of
8
those
games.
top tier teams in the country.
Well,
Mike, what do you think? I haven't heard from you. I know you're a Florida fan, but
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I was genuinely surprised to see North Carolina come out the way they did. I agree that's going to be a sleeper team. They're going
absolutely,
to watch.
no doubt.
I was really surprised at Mississippi State.
Oh God,
Who
And
did they clean? Whose clock did they clean?
LSU.
LSU's.
Oh, they
Oh,
had
that's
That's
right.
it. Remember that kid threw for 600 yards.
yards.
It was
Uh,
a
Jay
good old
Costello.
smackdown. Their secondary is.
And I will say this because I
Lovely.
think I expressed some serious concern because I was told, because I didn't see it, that they had taken a knee during the national anthem. I was since corrected. They did not. So I am on board with watching college football, at least my Gators, until such time as they do something that.
I agree.
Teams took a knee all right. They both took a
They
knee.
did. They took a
Every
knee.
single one of them. It just was not in the, during the
During the
national
national
anthem.
anthem. So,
All right, and I will
Yeah, I
wrap
don't
this
have no
up.
problem with
No.
that. Just
I'll get into some more sports Saturday because we got a lot more college football, and you're going to hit us up with some racing. Do want to talk about the Tornadoes real quick. Took a tough loss, 38-20 over at Live Oak Swanee. Gentlemen, I'm going to tell you this. I've told you already. That quarterback that they have,
This is the real deal.
the past 2 years, I've seen some great quarterbacks. This kid is the best I've seen in 2 years. This kid can run, throw. Kid's got 4.4 speed. This Jock Wesmore, he's going somewhere. I don't know why he ain't got many more offers than what he's got, but I think he's going to. Swanee's 3-1. If they can win out, they don't have no more Madison County. If they can win out and go 8 or 9-1 or 10-1, they're going to be in the thick of the playoff race. And then this kid's going to start really being looked at. The kid, man, I'm telling you, has got wheels, strong, speed. If you heard me, that's all I said the other night was Jock Wesmore, Jock Wesmore, Jock Wesmore. They pulled him out of the game. Bradford wins the second half of that game, outscores them 20-7. Should have been 24-7 because we should have had 2 more 2-point conversions.
Oh, and also
And then they brought
touchdown.
that kid. Yeah, then they brought that kid back in, and he scored well, he threw it. He threw it to a sophomore wide receiver, but they brought the kid back in because Bradford was starting to get momentum. Coach Tyler Hall said, stopping that right now, and brought that kid back in, and he basically iced the game because Bradford was on the comeback. Plus, we had a 95-yard kickoff return called back for an obvious hold, which was more of a tackle that happened in front of the side judge.
That was behind the
play,
play.
20 yards.
Didn't even need to.
Balfour turned on those Jets, son. You heard it, didn't you? Gone, like the wind.
When you got excited, when you were talking about that, I knew he was gone before you even
Oh,
said
my
that.
God. Straight up the center of the field. That was a 14-point swing. Let me tell you why. Wow. The next play, when we got the penalty, the next play, he throws an interception. The kid takes it back to the house with no time left on the clock. That was a 14-point swing. Wow. That game should have really been 17-14, at the very worst, 24-7 because of that. And then we get the ball back. And we went down there and scored. That could have easily been 24-14 or 24-12, whatever they decided to do. But instead, that put us in a hole 31-0. And then it was just too hard to come back. You're asking young kids to try to bring it back. That's not quite prepared for that kind of scenario. So in saying that, we're 1-3. We're going on one of our last road trips to Madison County. I know they're tough. They're the 4-time defending Class 1A state champions. But they got beat the other night by Florida High, 32-14. Problem with that is they're probably going to be mad as a Hornets hen. And they probably want to take it out on somebody. And guess who's coming to town? Unfortunately, us. Right. But now, we can take some momentum in and say, hey, we won the second half of that game. You know what I mean? Let's take some momentum. If the Tornadoes can keep the game close, I'll be okay with stupid penalties. Right. Mistakes and sustaining some drives. I think the Tornadoes can hang with them. I'm not saying they win the ball game. But if you can give me a 28-21 ball game, I'm okay with that. Because the next 4 or 5 is at home. We've seen this before.
Yep.
Start 1-4. Been down that road before, and all of a sudden they get hot. And they get on a roll.
And make it to the playoffs.
Yeah.
David, if you can score on that defenses of Swanee counties, you can score on that.
Yes, you can. Because Swanee did it to them.
That's exactly right.
The week before.
That's exactly right. So don't go in there with the attitude that they're the Madison County of old, because apparently they're not the Madison County of old.
No, they're not. They're not. So, all right.
Real quick here.
Yeah.
Just we're going to be monitoring this throughout the night. Some breaking news. There appears to have been a shooting at the Amazon Fulfillment Center on Pecan Park Road in Jacksonville. An unknown number of people have been injured. Heavy police presence. They are evacuating the building. This is breaking news. We'll stay on top of this and bring you the latest as we get it.
You can catch that on the spot with David Rodgers On behalf of Mr. Byron Bagwell,
Good night,
Mr.
infidels.
Michael Heater, Mr. Dave Holland,
Good night, everybody.
and Mr. Mitchell Gunner, as we wrap up tonight, we want to thank our sponsors and everyone who tuned in. And remember, we are on the spot, so you can be too. Good night, everybody. Tune in Saturday night at 7 o'clock as we'll have Miss Stacy Creighton on. Get your questions ready. Here we go. Another political candidate right here on the spot. Don't forget the rally as well. Good night. God bless
Good
everybody.
night, everybody.